Okay, welcome to USFFL NFC Championship. We finally have kickoff here between Philadelphia and San Francisco. Philadelphia indeed gets the ball first. My throat's a little scratchy tonight. Some sparkling water, some bourbon maybe will help. We'll see. The cigar won't, that's for sure. Flat pass. Gordon on first down. Going to get an incompletion as Greenlaw makes the play. Let's just make sure we're set up right here. Check something else as well. 2nd and 10. It's going to be interesting to see how Philadelphia's pass-run mix works out today in real life. Obviously, a big running team. It's Stratomatic, a big running team. And there's a 35-yard gain for Sanders. That's what they need. They need the card of the Eagles runners to make hay and up to the 39-yard line of San Fran. First and 10. Devonta Smith incomplete guess right. Brings it to 2nd and 10 from the 39. So in Strat, this team ran 47% of the time. We will note that as we look at the stats later on. An incomplete pass again. I think we've seen 3 passes in 1 run so far for these Eagles, and we'll probably see a pass again here on 3rd and 10. Let's take a look at the leg of the Philadelphia kicker, young guy. And he goes out to the 39, so right at the limit now. If he stayed here, any variable loss would push him out of range. But 2 through 6, 11, 12, pretty good from this range if he indeed holds. Without variable. Goes 3 wide and a fullback. Going end run to Hurts here. Going left. Not going to get much. He loses a yard, knocks him out of range, and forced a punt. Tough roll on the blocking back region, but not a very high number of good rolls to be found there. And that punt is going to go 37 yards, going to push these Niners back to their own 3 to start out. 1st and 10, it's Garoppolo at quarterback, who we've seen most of the year at quarterback. Linebacker McCaffrey, he is keyed on 1st down. Going to lose 1. Back to the 2. Penalties and offside against Philadelphia. Take a look at the penalty matchup. Philadelphia comes in top 10 in most categories, while San Francisco's top 10 in most categories. Philadelphia's middle of the pack in every category. So nobody had a huge disadvantage here. You'd give a slight edge to San Fran, though. 1st and 5. Linebacker again to McCaffrey. 5 yards to a 1st down. Not going to get help here from the guard. And now there's a holding against San Fran, which is accepted. Pushes him back just 4 yards, not 10. So Philadelphia accepts the essentially 1st and 9 instead of 2nd and 3. And it's from their own 4. Linebacker McCaffrey guessed wrong. Opportunity here, and the defensive tackle, Linval Joseph, cannot make the play. 6 yards, and we're back to that 2nd and 3. San Fran, talk about Philadelphia's running. Well, who's number 1 in the league? San Francisco 49ers at 53% running. And there's an off tackle. Short yardage is on here on the 2nd and 3. Going to get no gain on McCaffrey's card. McCaffrey getting worked early here. It's had a number of runs. I think a couple that have been affected by penalties. So only technically 2 carries so far today against his fatigue. 22 left. And now sets up a 3rd down and 3. You're going to find this is the case for a lot of these categories for these guys. They like to run in almost any situation. These are running squads. Certainly true here. Nobody ran more in the USFFL than San Francisco in this situation. Number one in the league. Goes back to it. Guessed wrong. McCaffrey's going to get that first down. However, there is a penalty that's going to add on to it and put San Fran out to the 29. Would have gotten 4 yards guessed right. So McCaffrey was going to pretty much get that unless he was keyed. And he's just a very good right runner, which is going to require maybe Philadelphia to think about keying some. Philadelphia keyed just 28 times this year on defense on a first down incomplete flat pass. Guessed wrong. 18th in the league. Neither team keyed a lot. Second and 10. Loss of 1 on second down, 3rd and 11. Short pass Ayuk, he's not doubled up. Pass rush is decent, but not great. Hargrave facing a 7. Going to get flushed. Needs 11. Can he get it? He gets 23. I think all these guys can go good for 23 yards. And Deebo Samuel certainly does. First down, big third down conversion. San Francisco came into the contest on 3rd and longs as 20th in the league on offense, but found it there on the benefit of the dump-off. Looking past Kittle. One man is there, 5. Incomplete on Garoppolo's card. Let's take a look at the injuries. We know we have Hassan Reddick. We saw that a couple of nights ago. And Gainwell. And then for San Fran, Donfor and Armstead both out. Armstead will be out for the Super Bowl if they get that far. Off tackle. Nobody home guessed right, however. The defensive tackles are going to have trouble making plays here. Hargrave, he's a great pass rusher, but not a very good run stopper. 3rd and 4 up to the Philadelphia 43-yard line. 8:06 left first quarter. This Philadelphia squad, coached by Bruce Mugg. Joe Golden did a lot of subbing up until the wild card round. Most of the, I think, last quarter, maybe last half of the season, Joe had been manning this team and got a playoff win for him. Linebuck McCaffrey, guessed wrong. Nobody home. Opportunity here. Just gets 2. 4th and 2 now. So I was expecting at least to get inch a little bit closer. Now I'm going to go for it on 4th and 2 from the Philadelphia 41. Best 4th down conversion percentage on offense in the league is San Francisco against the 25th best 4th down defense in Philadelphia. Flat pass, guessed right. Looking for Juszczyk, just needs 2, gets 10. However, there's a penalty on the field that's going against Philadelphia. This play will stand. 1st and 10 up to the 31. $7:12 left first quarter. No score here. San Francisco now on the move after that 4th down conversion. Goes right back to a flat pass, this time to Deebo. He can't bring it in on his card. 2nd and 10 from the 31. Blocking back Sat Juszczyk. Helps offset those asterisks along the line. Really tames them a little bit. Short pass, Ayuk. Going to be complete for 13. You see Hargrave is your best bet there up against Banks. Staying 4-man. on the defensive line. Kind of an important task for Philadelphia. Tough to stay with it, though. When you're sort of forced to go nickel in situations, do you go 4-2-5? That's the calculation that Coach Bruce has to go through. Off tackle Elijah Mitchell on this first down hits another 2 yards guessed wrong, but an offside against Philadelphia. Kind of racking up the penalties here are the Eagles. 1st and 5 from the Philadelphia 13. 8th most efficient red zone offense in the league is San Francisco. The number 1 in the league red zone defense in Philadelphia, but up against the wall here. Off tackle again, and Mitchell gets another bad roll. This time it'll count. 2nd and 5. Mitchell limited from via low usage rules, but just hunting for a first down there. Couldn't get it. I think he averages 5 or 6. Yeah, 6. Back to Mitchell, looking for those 6 yards. Can he get them? Yes. First down, I believe. Yeah, gets those 6 yards. 1st and goal from the 7. Two white die is not going to override the low usage. Linebuck McCaffrey, and he's going to get 6 yards and down to the 1. Guessed right. What a run. It's a 3-1-1 roll, avoids injury. We're looking out for injuries here for the San Fran team. As we talked about earlier, got bit in the in real life game pretty hard by injuries. Linebuck back to Juszczyk. Gets 3 yards. Is it going to hold up? It is not a false start. Pushes him back to the 6. Important penalty there. Was it the most important penalty on this drive? Well, maybe. See what happens. 2nd and 6. We don't know yet. But that takes a touchdown off the board, so it's very important no matter where you rank it. Back to McCaffrey. Man in zone. Guessed right. Well covered by Philadelphia. No gain. Penalty. A personal foul. The flags are flying in San Francisco. 1st and goal from the 3. San Francisco comes into the game, as they are in many categories, number 1 in running, and 1st and 1 to 9 to go. Nobody runs it more. Let's see if we can. Guys tend to know their tendencies walking into playoffs and look to cross it up a little bit. Typically see that. Might not see it here, though, on a 1st and goal from the 3. Debo in. Not Elijah Mitchell, interestingly. It's going to Garoppolo. He's going to get no gain. Second down and goal from the 3. Back to Garoppolo. Guessed right. Just going to get a yard. Brings up 3rd and goal from the 2. You see lots of opportunities there to get these couple yards, but didn't land in the right spot. TJ Edwards, a good linebacker. A lot of good hole fillers there. Just needs 2. It's back to Garoppolo. Garoppolo loses a yard. That's going to probably force the field goal unit onto the field here. Let's see what San Francisco does. They like to go for it on 4th, but 3 yards out. So many chances. They're going to go for it again. 1 yard, no gain, no gain. 6 yards, 6 yards called back. 2 yards. gotten less than 3 yards more often than not on this long series of downs. 2:06 left first quarter. 4th and goal from the 3. End run McCaffrey. Man is there. Guessed right. Needs 3 yards. Doesn't get it. Ball turns over to Philadelphia at their own 3-yard line. Well covered up by the Philadelphia defense. It was a 1st and goal at the 3. Jimmy G just could not get on the defensive card on his line book. When he did, it was +1, or somebody did. Wasn't sure if it was him. But 3 out of 4 of those downs went offensive card guessed right. Hurts in the pistol. As we look at the Bosa blocking, he's up against the 7. Short pass Brown. You see Bosa there is really good against Miles Sanders. Looking for that sack. Can he get it here on 1st and 10 to AJ? No, 15 yards on AJ's card. Blitzing would have been a sniper scope and a long gain. Instead, just 15, but that's plenty for Philadelphia to get out of the shadow of their own end zone with 1:12 left here in the first quarter. To Goddard. Guessed right. Gets 13 on his card. Out to the 31. Philadelphia bent. Historically, at least not this year, not a very good red zone defense team. Boy, they showed it there. Short pass, Devonta Smith. You see a lot of passing here from Philadelphia. Must run for 4. 2nd and 6. Pass to set up the run, perhaps. I don't know how much it sets it up when you have those defensive cards, no matter what you call it. But in any event, we've seen 5, 6 pass calls, 2 run calls. That's right. Must run counts as a pass call. Too tight in the pistol. Flat pass. Incomplete on the card of Jalen Hurts. Brings up a 3rd and medium for Philadelphia. In this spot, Philadelphia struggled. You get 6 yards and beyond, Philadelphia had trouble converting first downs. 30th in the league and from this particular area. 29th in the league from 11+ yards. Ratchet all the way up to 7th in the league once they get from 3 to 5 yards. And then number 2 in the league on 3rd and short. Makes sense given the cards. Can they pull one out here? It's the 3rd best defense in this situation, the San Francisco 49ers. Short pass, Jack Stoll. Doesn't have much of a receiving card. Doesn't need it necessarily. Can he pull it off? Flushed. 6 yards is needed. Doesn't get it. Loss of 2 or incomplete. It is a loss of 2. Quez Watkins tackled in the backfield. 4th and 8. Philadelphia forced punt. But they win back some field position. Not going to be ideal field position for this defense, most likely. Well, hey, 58-yard punt. Puts in a good spot if he gets a fair catch. And he does! Flips field position. San Francisco starting out at their own 9-yard line. We're into the second quarter now. 14:24 left in the half. No score. Elijah Mitchell checks back in after a fairly heavy usage of McCaffrey, but ate up the whole first quarter, so not really in a bad position. We can check his attempts left here. Mitchell, again, limited to about 6 yards per carry on 2 out of 3 runs on his card due to the low usage rule. Off tackle, Mitchell, looking for those 6 yards or more. If he goes on defensive card, he goes to the defensive card indeed, but Lynchie cannot make the block. He's a 5, looking for a 6, 2nd and 7. Blocking back formation. Elijah Mitchell is your back once again. 2nd and 7. This time called right. Mitchell's going to lose 2. Welcome to Dennis Crowley. We have no score here, Dennis. 13-12 left in the second quarter. 3rd and long now for San Fran, deep in their own territory.
Good deal. I forgot that you had shared that out earlier, so I wasn't paying attention to it when it I was waiting for a new thing to show up, but you were ahead of the game.
Yes, I like to schedule them if I can. Long pass, Ray McLeod. Nobody back there. I think there's opportunities in this defensive card. Less so on Jimmy's card, and it goes there. Incomplete flag is going to be a false start. So another shot for this pass rush to get through. With pass rush, Philadelphia pass rush is neutered today, especially on a 3-man front, which is what we're likely to see here. Let's see if Hargrave moves into the 4-2-5. He does not. So he faces that 7. The chance of a safety, you thought you might see a 4-2-5 here. You don't. So Hargrave's going to be limited to 18% at the nose unless extra linebackers come. Reddick, the best pass rusher on this team, is out with injury. Flat pass, McCaffrey. The 0 is there. Gets the 6th roll he was looking for, but just gets 13 yards. Now, if it would have been a 4 or 5, it would have been a short gain and would have had a better chance of that conversion. 4th and 1.
Interesting, yeah. You forget about that stuff sometimes. We saw in the divisional round, Philadelphia was very aggressive in their offensive play calling. We'll see what that looks like today.
Been pretty pass heavy today. And you're facing these cards of the San Fran D. It makes sense, right? And can't quite say it's pass to set up the run because, I mean, in all cases, he needs to go to your cards.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, that well, go ahead.
Devontae on this short pass gets wrong.
That both of these guys are hit by injuries. So that plays a big part.
Yeah, it sure does. The Reddick injury, particularly important. Big first down play there. After starting in good field position, Philadelphia is already into Justin Elliott field goal range. Too tight here in the pistol. Line buck to Sanders, guessed wrong. Nose tackle is a 0. Everything's favoring Philadelphia except the defensive cards, and gets 3 yards, which isn't so bad.
Yeah, considering some of the other alternatives.
Yeah.
Although he did move the inside linebacker there, so an 8 would have been 10 yards.
Yes. 2nd and 7. Sanders stays in. Off tackle, it's guessed right. Nobody home. Not going to be necessarily good stuff. Yeah, loss of 1. 3rd and 8. It's kind of that short gain or the snake eyes on defense or bust. And even the snake eyes, I'm pretty sure, is not a long gain of any sort. Let's take a look. Oh, it is. It's 30. Yeah. 3rd and 8. Tough spot for Philadelphia. We talked about it in the last series of downs. Toward the bottom of the league on 3rd downs and 6 and longer. Towards the top of the league from 3rd downs and 5 and in. Flat pass. Devonta against a 6. Going to get just 4. 4th and 4. Elliott will trot onto the field in the 40-yard zone. Or will he? Yes. Elliott's kick is no good. Just 2 through 7, 11, 12. Variable did not matter there.
Yeah, he's definitely not one of the better kickers. He can go long distance, but he's not as accurate from the 32 in as you'd like.
For sure, and he really hits it right on the head there with the 8, which is the roll that most are going to get. First down, incomplete. So both teams have gone deep into each other's territory and coming out with nothing. Let's take a look at McCaffrey. He's got 16 left, 9:36 left. Looking fine. Short pass Ayuk. Blitzer's coming. Incomplete on the interception split. Possible penalty is waved off. 3rd and 10 quickly for San Fran.
That's kind of a tempting short pass card, especially with Reddick not in. You might see him focus his offense in that area on early downs at least.
Well, yes, it's certainly against a 3-man front. It's almost, that's 3 men, so let's take a look at the 4. Short pass Ayuk here. And Brandon Graham gets in on 26%er. So 4th and 19. You're going to have to live with 26%ers. They're going to happen sometimes. 74-yard punt to the 5. Going to have to let this bounce, typically anyway. Most do. He does, and he gets exactly 5 yards to put it as a touchback for Philadelphia. $8:24 left first half. No score. So you faced San Francisco twice, Dennis, correct? Did you face Philadelphia?
I did. I got knocked out of the playoffs by Philly and could not beat San Francisco. So both of them are in a different class than the fringe playoff teams like mine.
Yes, I'd agree.
What's tough is that when you get a good call and you're guessed wrong and you land on those San Francisco D cards, you just can't go anywhere. And then when you face Philadelphia and you have like 0s and 3 on your offensive line pass blocking, you get destroyed.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Complete on that deep ball. Philadelphia came into the game going deep just 3% of the time. Good for 31st in the league. Philly's stats are a little bit jumbled because Joe Golden coached probably 6 or 7 games for this team. So not quite apples to apples in terms of the ability to research, which for somebody like me is kind of annoying.
Yeah. I love all those stats you have, though, so just keep throwing them out there.
And it's 3 and out. Will do, just less meaning here, Joe likes to go deep, but still 3%.
Yeah, when I tuned into the game, the divisional round one, I was like, I thought it was Joe coaching because he comes out firing right away, and then Tim says, oh no, this is Bruce. So I'm like, oh, okay, good deal, I like it.
And Joe, of course, is busy right now, coaching in an autumn wind playoff game. Flat pass, Debo, incomplete, guessed wrong. These guys are misfiring. 5 of 11 for Garoppolo. Do you have Joe's score by the chance, Dennis?
I can go tune in over there. I'll do that.
Just put that onto YouTube. At least me and you, and there's a few of us that will care about that score inside the USFFL. 2nd and 10. Blocking back against the blitz. Here comes McCaffrey. Man is there. And that linebacker is going to make the play. Marcus Epps. He's a 6. And it's 3rd and long. These defenses have been flexing their muscles these last couple possessions. With San Fran in this 3rd and long territory. They were 8th in the league in converting here. We've already seen them convert 1 so far from this range, but it was on a dump off for 23. Long pass. Ray McLeod. Nobody's back there. Can he hit it? Yes, long gain, possible penalty, 61 yards. Is there a flag or is there not? We don't know yet. No flag, 61 yards. Going to put him up to the Philadelphia 13-yard line. Vulnerable long pass, no man for Philly. Philly finished 19th in the league, men in zone deep at 0.6. 1st and 10. Blocking back versus his 4-3 blitz. It's an off tackle. Mitchell, he's not keyed. 2 yards. So one of the few zones not plugged was that spot, 2nd and 8.
So over in AW, it's 6-0 Houston on top of Joe Golden's New York Giants. But Joe is driving. 5:06 to go in the 2nd quarter.
I say Joe likes to throw deep. He barely throws deep with there's a flat pass. Gonna be a 5. That's gonna beat him. 18 yards, touchdown. San Fran's on the board. Long pass to the 13-yard line was the catalyst. And McCaffrey finishes it off 6-0. Robbie Gould probably should be the kicker now, and is not this year. First and gets the extra point, 7-0. Who's this quarterback there? Chicago guy, right? Fields.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
Yeah, he's down at like 2% long pass throwing, I think.
Well, that rule set too doesn't quite lend itself with no dump offs to letting it rip.
That is true. First and 10, first 25.
Getting that, Rich must, you breathe a sigh of relief. You get that first one out of the way, you're on the board, then you can go back to trying to get the ball back.
Here's a long pass, trying to get it back quick. Philadelphia has their pass fall incomplete in between a couple completion changes. 2nd and 10.
What's that, zero man?
Yeah. Zero man is long game.
So they both have ugly long pass zero man cards.
Say again?
So they both have ugly long pass zero min in the zone cards. You gotta
sure do. Here's zero man flat. It's picked off. Possible penalty. San Fran looking for the pick 6. Does not get it. Does it hold up? It does. Yes. No. It's an offsetting penalties. Oh, I didn't see the flag come out, the graphics, so I thought it held up, but the offsetting wipes away the INT. And Philadelphia is saved there from certain disaster.
So just to tell the audience, how do you know right away that it's a possible penalty? The X on the black die, or
X on the black die?
Yeah. Yeah. So just so people they can do their own, watching out for.
Yes, and I've said it before. I wish they showed the penalty card for us. The roll, really would love to see it. You got to pull out the card. You got to figure where it lands, and you're kind of guessing. It would be nice to have that extra.
Yeah, that would be a nice little feature. Sure.
It's just going to get a yard, 3rd and 11. Now, San Fran, talk about that long pass zero men. They are 3rd in the league, men in zone deep at 1.0. So they're generally keeping him back there. It's interesting is that nonetheless, they're still 13th in the league in double teams called. So it might be double teaming more with the linebacker, or it might just not be seeing a lot of long passes thrown. No. They have a ton of long passes thrown against them. Number 1 in the league at 11%. And that may come from them being up all the time.
Yeah, you're desperate. Yeah. So that was actually a loss of a yard. So 3rd and 11 here.
Mm-hmm. Not where Philadelphia wants to live. As we've mentioned a few times. Goder going against that 6. Tough sledding here. Needs a yak. Good reading on the receiver card. Doesn't get it. 4th and 11. And with 3 minutes left, San Fran, I believe, gets the ball. They have a chance to open up a couple score lead here if they manage things correctly from the 36-yard line. They're going to get 12 yards on the return. Good field position up toward midfield. 2:42 left now. Philadelphia on the ropes a little bit. But can easily punch out of it. Needs a 3 and out. McCaffrey's going to get 25. Big chunk for Christian McCaffrey. Up to the Philadelphia 27. 2:06 now, first half.
So Joe settled for a field goal and Autumn wins. So it's 6-3 now, 2 minutes, under 2 minutes. It's almost the same time as this one.
Did they miss an extra point, Houston? Did Evan McPherson? I think it's Evan McPherson. Did he miss an extra point? Or was it 2 field goals?
It was a pick 6, and they missed an extra point.
Yeah. Ken missed an extra point against me, too. Linebuck McCaffrey gets 5. And he had to chase that point our entire game. We played each other back in the very first game of the year for each of us. 2nd and 5. Good team, Houston.
Yeah, as part of my rebuild, I was offering around my kicker Gano, I think, for a kicker swap and a pick. So if he loses, he'll remember that.
Yes, and you'll remind him. So where do you put this San Fran team? And you have put any thought into where they rank sort of all time off tackle? Mitchell, I think they deserve some consideration. I think it's a pretty interesting, complete team. Best team you've probably seen in a couple of years, I'm guessing. Right? No, what do you think?
Based on the D cards, or because the offense is
all around.
I would say the offense is just above average. Garoppolo has his faults flat and deep. And McCaffrey, even though he does have those edge hits, he isn't that short game monster in the middle that you sometimes hate to fight. But I think they have another. Isn't Mitchell has a lot of those, doesn't he?
He does. He's limited though with low usage.
Okay.
Short pass.
Because of our goal set. Yeah.
Completes it. Guessed wrong on a 3rd and 7.
That's where Garoppolo shines. Is short guessed wrong. Love that card.
Yeah. No blank on 6, a la Gino.
Yeah, we're both familiar with that.
1st and goal from the 9. Never a fun spot to be. Well, it's always sort of good news, bad news. It's always good to be 1st and goal, but 9-yard line is a tough spot. San Fran, we mentioned, number 1 in the league in running 1st and goal. With all their timeouts, they can do whatever they want.
But to answer your question, I hadn't really thought of them in historical, like greatest teams ever. They don't strike me as that. Definitely one of the strongest teams in this set, obviously. But then again, I guess maybe I'm just bitter for not having been able to get over the hump against them.
I think back the last at least 3 to 4 years. I struggle to think of somebody better. 1 man in zone gets 2 yards. 2nd and goal from the 7. Let's see if anybody takes a timeout.
Yeah, and some of that's more damning with faint praise, if you will, because teams like Super Bowl winners, like the Bucks or whatever, had like a lot of flaws on their team, even with all their strengths. So
yes, there's not a lot of flaws.
There's not a lot of flaws on this one.
Absolutely agree. It's not necessarily how great this team is. It's that the other winners were not that great themselves. The end is going to make that block. That's Kittle. It's going to bring us to 3rd and goal for 3. Huge play here. We saw San Fran go for it on a 4th and goal from the 3 early on and miss it. So now, be curious. They get the ball back. I guess we should verify that real quick.
And Bruce letting the clock run, not calling timeouts here. So this is going to be the last meaningful possession, I think, of the first half.
Yep. Indeed, San Fran does get the ball. I'm probably kicking in every situation, including 4th and 1, since I'm getting the ball back. Linebucker McCaffrey, guessed right man there. Gets 5. Doesn't matter. Touchdown. Don't even have to talk about it. McCaffrey puts it in on the defensive card. They were looking for that 6-yard, 5-yard linebucker on their last time inside the 10-yard line, and they couldn't get it. They get it here.
Yeah, and then you contrast that with San Francisco. It's going to be 0 or -1 with 1 man in zone.
And it looks like San Fran is going to carry a 14-0 lead into halftime with the ball. It's going to be a fairly critical possession. There's a squib. So I guess somebody told me we're going to be getting rid of squibs in the Autumn Wind League. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard.
I have no idea. I think Mark was just bitter that you were squibbing every time. So he's probably going to bring it up, but who knows if it'll pass the board of directors.
I mean, look, it's not my place to vote on rules there, so I don't have, and I respect that position that I have, which is not one, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. Whatever happens, and I'll be cool with it. But I would say that it's not often that you get a card like that it makes sense, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes that's what NFL teams do. It's not like it's happens all the time. And by the way, it's rare in the NFL and it's rare in Strat. I mean, to me, it kind of holds up. I've seen some people try to copycat it who shouldn't be copycatting it because the card's not
Right.
lined up for it. That's on them. Flat pass AJ Brown, and you see how it doesn't work. I mean, the incomplete double team that'll bring us to halftime. I mean, it cost me the game against you in the USFFL regular season. It absolutely is not a foolproof strategy. It's about a 10% edge.
Right. And that's what when it is brought up, I will. You can give me all your talking points, and I'll present it for you. I'll be your mouthpiece.
San Fran starts off on a critical drive for the Philadelphia defense. Don't want to fall down 3 scores. Falling down 3 scores is not the end of the world in the third quarter. We've seen many comebacks, real life and in Strat. Looking past Debo. But it goes without saying that you don't want to have that mountain to climb. When you
so there's one of the weak points. Like, go to the guest right on that flat pass real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got some holes, and the yak ones there's a -1 there. I think 2 -1s there.
-1 and -3, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like, when I say it's not like a dominant team, you'd love to have a maxed out flat pass guy with that short pass guard, but you can't have everything.
You can't have everything. And I totally agree. And it's really about long pass Jennings on this 3rd and 10. Nobody back there again looking for the D card. Gets it. Long gain, 73 if it holds up. Doesn't hold up. It does. 73 yards. That's going to put him 2 yards short of the end zone. Jimmy G finding success deep.
2 through 10 on that one. 2 through 10 and 12, so that would pretty much guaranteed a hit.
Yeah. That's your Josh Allen long pass guest rate interception right there. I don't know if you heard that conversation. Full house here. 1st and goal from the 2. Garoppolo guessed wrong. He's going to get it. Touchdown. 20-0 San Fran. That Josh Allen has a long pass interception on 11, 2 through 10, 12. That's right. And tell me, in your experience, with that type of split, 2 through 10, 12, guessed right pick, would you expect, all things being equal, to have another auto pick double teamed? Another chance or two on 2 or 3?
Yeah, maybe on 2 or 12, but not likely.
Yeah, and he has none.
Not in this day and age.
Yeah, he has none, which is interesting because there's still good reasons to double team, right? But it's kind of muted a bit. 1st and 10 from the 18.
Yeah, you definitely want to. You do it to dampen those must runs, not for the extra pick chance.
In that case, that's right. Usually you get a little sweetener on top of that on the pick. Long pass, guessed wrong. Opportunity for AJ Brown. Incomplete. Gets the 10. Would have been receiver on Brown's devastating long pass wrong column on the defensive card, but it goes to Hurts's card. And let's take a look at that. What could have been? It's pretty nice. Second and 10. Linebuck Sanders looking for his card. Doesn't get it. 5 yards. Not a bad result. 3rd and 5. Prevents the 3rd and long. But still contain is on, which I think is what really matters. Could be 2 down territory, though. I would say only 4th and 1 is what I'd consider. There's a 0-0 here at middle. No, there's not. There's Freddie Water. Okay. I'm about to say, where'd Freddie go? Did he miss an injury? Flat pass. Devonta Smith needs 5 yards against the 4. Guess right. Gets just 3. 4th and 2. I'm punting. How about you? You're going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so is Bruce. See, I'm not too afraid of a 3-score lead with 12 minutes left in the 3rd. I'm just not. 4th and 1, I'll go. It's where I draw the line is 2 in this case.
Yeah, I get you. But
that's wrong. No gain on the dreaded 5.
Yeah, It happens so often. It seems like that 5 is magnetized or something.
Oh. And now San Fran can stretch this out to 4 scores. And Bruce says one of those days, and yeah, I mean it's been lately. I mean the difference has been the two long passes. That's where the game's been separated. Otherwise, they've been playing pretty close down to down.
Well, if they would have got that 4th and goal with a 3, this could be even worse. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, those lightning in a bottle plays definitely can sway a game.
Flat pass McCaffrey, guessed wrong. Going to the 0. Everything lining up here, but just gets 2 yards. Thanks to the yak, which I enjoy. Juszczyk out for the half.
So this is where you if you're rich, it's really easy to coach because the other guy's getting desperate, trying to do more blitzing, keying, flooding, and you'll have more openings. Takes the pressure off you and puts it on him. You got to be perfect as a defensive coach at this point.
Yes. Possible penalties waved off. Edwards makes the play. And Bruce certainly immediately, and that's not a criticism of Bruce, I understand, just to make sure everyone understands. You've got to go for high variability here on defense. I mean, you're not looking to play a flat line. You're looking to get one extreme or the other. Field goal still keeps it 3 scores technically, but that's a long way. That's a long 3 scores. Short pass McCaffrey, 4 men in zone. Going to get hit for 12 yards on that Philadelphia pass card. 5-6 completions. 1st and 10 from the 12. Feels like San Fran's had a lot of success on 3rd down. I don't know if they actually have. Not bringing up the box score. Off tackle, Mitchell. Going to get just 2. Third down, San Fran. 7-11 versus 0 for 6.
Yeah, that's the story of the game right there. That and the 2 bombs. Was it 2 or 3?
Yes.
I think it was 2.
Mitchell gets 5. 3rd and 3, yeah, 2 bombs.
Unless there was one on the drive that failed.
I don't think so. So a 3rd and 3 from the 5. Gets that 1st down at the 2-yard line. It's worth checking out Philadelphia's interception return card at some point here. Off tackle Mitchell. And I think Kittle's going to make another good block. Yes, he does. 1st and goal at the 1. Interception return is bad for Philadelphia. So that can embolden Jimmy G even more. But on a 1st and goal from the 1, we should expect a run. And we do. Elijah Mitchell looking for a yard. He does not get it. He gets thrown back for a 2-yard loss. Six on the white die. Was going right. Probably would have had a touchdown on the 5 or 9 as well. Plus the 6, plus the 7, plus the 4. And the 3, and the 2.
You kind of don't mind it as San Francisco because it's eating up more time.
That is true.
And it was 1st and goal.
Which linebacker? Goes to Apps. He's going to make the stop.
More time off the clock.
Jimmy G, min fumble. So many min fumbles in this set. Just seemingly incorrectly carded. It's my theory that they incorrectly did it and just decided to go with it. Not bother with the data. With the data patch. McCaffrey's keyed. The guard can make that play. Touchdown. San Fran. 27-0, 6:54 left third quarter.
Good key, but whether he made the block or not, he was getting in the end zone from the 2-yard line.
Sure was. You have a score update, Nottingham Wind?
Yeah, 6-6. 11:42 to go in the third quarter, and Houston in the red zone.
Both games would be good. The winner faces Montreal in the semifinal of the AFC. End run Sanders gets 7 on first down, 2nd and 3. So 28-0. So if you're when I'm in these situations, I tend to view this as 4-0 as opposed to 28. I don't like to think about the 28, just 4. I need 4. End run Sanders. Field goals don't matter. No gain on 0 linebacker.
It's not so frustrating there. Yeah, 3-3-5, and you get that 8, and going nowhere.
Linebuck Sanders. 6 yards, 1st and 10. So you need 4 somehow, and you have 20 minutes to do it. He's going nickel, straight up. Early on as it is. End run Sanders. Going to get 24, but there's a holding call against Philadelphia, taking it back.
34-yard swing.
So, if you're San Fran, Dennis, when do you think about pulling starters here? He lost Bosa last year in the Super Bowl, which was a key loss for that my Chargers were able to take advantage of. He lost him in the NFC Championship game to you, where San Francisco prevailed, but lost Nick Bosa in that game. When do you think about pulling him?
After this drive, if San Francisco doesn't score, if they punt or turn it over on downs, I'm going with my backups, because you can always bring the starters back in, on defense at least. And some of my key starters on offense, be happy to 3 and out and punt it on offense. But yeah, I think it's about that time, the next few minutes.
I agree. The quarterback question is an interesting one. I mean, you could put Purdy in.
You're not losing much.
Stuck with him, but so what? You're stuck with Purdy. Not the end of the world. It's not much of a drop off at all. Sanders gets a short gain. Does it hold up? It does not. 5 yards. Freddie Warner is there. 4th and 3. So an opportunity to get the starters off the field here, maybe, for Rich and his Niners. Short pass, Brown. 3 minutes up. Guessed right. Going to get just 2. Flag is down. It's an offside. Offsetting. Excuse me. Offsetting. We're doing it again. If you go with Jimmy G instead, just as insurance, because you like him a little better and he gets hurt, then you're with Purdy in the Super Bowl, and that's not so bad either. Linebuck Sanders. He's going to get this. 5 yards, 1st down, up to midfield.
Yeah, I think you want to save Jimmy G because of the short pass card against those AFC 3-minute zone offerings.
Mm-hmm.
And the lower pick chances. Purdy's got more picks.
Double teamed incomplete. Yeah, it sure does. It's his Achilles heel in this card. Next card should be interesting for Purdy. Should be pretty good. Be interesting. I mean, it sounds like they make the receiver cards first. That's what it sounds like. If you hear the same thing that I hear when I listen to the team talk about it. And those receiver cards might be so good that it hurts Purdy. I don't know. It's hard to say.
And McCaffrey's card will play a big part in it too. You make his card really strong, you make it easier to give a mediocre card to Purdy. Although I still think he'll be pretty good. The yards per attempt is what's going to drive that card.
Right. which are very good. Whether they came from Yak or not, yeah, he has good. I think he led the league in Yak yards as a passer. Linebuck Sanders going to get 6 on that 3rd and 4. First and down up to the San Francisco 38. 54 seconds left, third quarter. Still 28-0.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that even if you take the Yak yards out, he still led the league.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty crazy. Now, if you're Philadelphia here and you have such a strong running team, you want to run as much as you can and hope you land on your cards. Just keep trying things like that, even though you're going to get stuck for 0 and 1 yards at times based on the D card.
Yes.
He's not going to guess.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Especially in third quarter, 28, run. And he hit a long one. Just got called back with a penalty on this drive.
Yeah. And again, this is why what you said with San Francisco having led the league with one point, whatever minute zone on the deep pass, because they're up like this and they're not going to take any chances. Yep. That's what you get back in the game is hitting some bombs against that 0-minute card.
Another third down. Philly's been very successful on third downs this drive. Flat pass, Goddard. Man is there. Incomplete on this one. 4th and 3. This will be their second 4th and 3 attempt on the drive.
Houston got a touchdown. They're up 13-6.
How much time left? Andrew Sanders.
6 minutes to go in the third.
Mm-hmm. Short game for Sanders. It's going to put him up to the 13-yard line. Another 4th down conversion. Into the fourth quarter now. All these zeros back here. Are we not seeing subs already? Looking past Goddard.
Yeah, I think he is. Mm-hmm. I think he's gotten some of those guys out of there.
He crossed over. Yeah, I mean, Hufungo was not in there last time. Yeah, he's out of there. Is Warner out of there? Yeah, Warner's out of there. Bosa stays in. Tempting fate. Linebuck Hurts on the 2nd and 3. Men are there. No gain. 3rd and 3.
He might be just taking them out one at a time, instead of, I have like a formation set up already that I never use that I would bring in cases like this.
Yeah, and I would imagine San Francisco has it all loaded up too. Perhaps in this in the formation.
See now both is gone.
Yeah, all right. Andrew Sanders on this 3rd and 3. Looking for his card. Does he get his card? We wait. Are we stuck? Says Rich.
Might be waiting a little longer.
Probably stuck.
Yeah.
We'll come back in just a second. Enjoy this scroll, Dennis. You're going to see your name pop up a few times. We'll be back. back. We have a game number. We've had a couple game numbers, and they haven't worked. We give this one a good 30 seconds to sort of let the guys in there. Giving it a shot right now. I think we have success. Yes, we do. We're in. The teams have flipped. Oh, yeah, because now Bruce is hosting. That will be why. And we've got a 3rd and 3. That's why you see Philadelphia now going south to north. No gain. Fourth and 3. End run. Guessed wrong. Man is there. Sanders looking for his card. Gets it. Touchdown. No penalty. Houston Oilers lead, not a win. It's 28-6 here. Philadelphia with 12:36 left. Needs 3. That's how I view it. 3. It's 4-1. San Fran. Psychology. Complex, eh? Gets a touchback on the 9 roll. I would not imagine he'd have gone for an onside, but if he did, it would not have been successful. First and 10 from the 25. Now we see Jimmy G stay in, Kittle in, Mason is your back. 12:36 left. It's got to feel just a tad early at 28-7 in the 3-score lead. Bruce saying take you got to wonder what Bruce says. You should take out your starters for the Super Bowl. I immediately laugh because Bruce wants a better chance at a comeback here, I imagine. I assume that's tongue-in-cheek. Blocking back against this blitzing 4-3. And so does Rich. Take it the same way. Mason gets 4 despite the bunching up on the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 6. Flat pass. Gets wrong to Kittle. Looking for yards here. Gets just 2 on the 1-2-2 roll. Avoiding injury. Ever so close to one, though. 3rd and 4. Was it last night? It wasn't this league, though. I made the comment that you just sort of root for a close game. So we're not rooting for Bruce here necessarily, although we like Bruce. We are rooting for a close game when we hope for a stop here. On 3rd and 4, McCaffrey is keyed. Got everybody where he wants them, and Epps makes another play inside. 4th and 4. Here come the Eagles. Block is on. No possible flag. From the 24 is Covey, if that's how you pronounce his name. 13 yards. Could be Covey. And the Eagles will start out at the 37-yard line. So you need to finish this drive. From a need perspective, 5 minutes left in the game. Of course, you'd like to do better than that. Looking past Goddard, incomplete at first. Strat doesn't give you the option of hurrying up this early, which I understand. I mean, you don't want to have an excessive amount of plays run, which will knock you out of alignment with what happens in real life. Philadelphia not getting the breaks here on first and second down. Faces a 3rd and 9. 2 plays to get 9 yards for the Eagles. Flat pass Goddard up against the 6. Almost intercepted. And 4th and 9. Four wide with Goddard. It's do or die for the Eagles. Well, not really, but certainly feels like it. Fourth down, a better spot to shadow the quarterback. He doesn't do it. Pascal. Incomplete, no flag down. Ball turns over to San Francisco with 9:18 left. Leading 28-7. On the verge of field goal range. Blocking back. Off tackle Mason, just going to get one. 2nd and 9. So the door had a crack open there for Philly. Definitely did. Now it feels not so much that way. Mason, with 43 rush attempts, is limited with low usage. Averaging that 6 yards per carry. Back to him, guessed wrong. Gonna get 7. As the tackle, McGlinchey, comes up with a nice block. 3rd and 2. Now safely into field goal range. With 8:06 left. It is not 2-down territory as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't matter. First down, Jimmy G. He's been busy on the line buck today. 1st and 10 to the 27. So Jimmy G stays in the game here. He can get injured. Injury rating probably not very high. Just making that assumption here. You take the attempts, run attempts, pass attempts for quarterbacks. You divide them by 30, and that's your injury rating. And right on cue, Trey Lance enters the game with 7:30 left in the 4th quarter. So it doesn't go to Purdy. Instead to Lance, and that makes sense. There's an offside against Philly. I would have thought if you brought him out early, you go to Purdy, then go to Lance, sort of step down each way. But he takes 2 steps down and goes straight to Lance. And that makes sense when you're doing it with 7 minutes left in the 4th. And a 28-7 lead, and about to add to it with a few runs up the gut and then a kick. But he's got a 1st and 5, so good chance of converting on this set of downs. Loses one there, 2nd and 6. If the 49ers advance, this will be their 2nd Super Bowl in a row that they'll have appeared in. Mentioned that a little bit earlier. Lost to the Chargers last year in a tight game that was more or less decided by Jimmy G interceptions on his card. He threw 2 fourth quarter flat pass interceptions with a guessed right interception of 2 through 5, 12. Hit the 5 on both occasions. Mason gets 3, makes it 3rd and 3. One of them was returned for a touchdown, which sort of gave the Chargers a little bit of a pad. This game, of course, they'll be facing either the Bills or the Chiefs, who face off tomorrow night. Neither the Bills nor the 49ers have ever won a Super Bowl or Coach of Year in the history of the franchises, no matter who was the owners throughout their tenures of having the team. Rich has not had the team as long as I've been here. We have a fourth down here, and we'll see Gould to try to extend this lead to 31-7. He missed it. 5:06. Philly going to make a last gasp effort here. They've got to hurry. And I believe we had Lawrence Green as our San Francisco owner prior to Rich, if I'm not mistaken, and run Miles Sanders. It's be nice to get Lawrence back in the league one of these days. He is a 49er fan, but he's not going to get the 49ers, I'm fairly certain, if he were to come back into the league. Philadelphia was held for a long time by one of our members who has passed away before Bruce took them over a few years ago. Short pass, A.J. Brown. That explains why, for the placard on YouTube that you've maybe seen all day up on the broadcast channel, that's why there was neither a San Francisco or Philadelphia plate there. I could have found one where they were the other team featured, like not the quote unquote losing team on the placard, but decided just to go with that nice Randy Moss one. It's one of my favorites. Sort of came out nice and artistic, like 2nd and 10. End run Sanders. Gets just 3. Now 4:12 left. Looking for that long gain, which is going to be hampered by the away chart anyway, but still looking for it. Down 21 points. With 4:12 left. Too tight. See all defensive subs in for San Fran. Back to Sanders. This time Goddard is tested, and he does not pass that test. It's 4th down and 4 from midfield. Too tight. Trying to hold on to any last gasp of hope here. Converting this 4th. San Fran drops 2 back to long pass zone. It's an end run to Sanders. It falls on the 0-man 6 with a no gain. Oh, devastating run defense. Gets the stop, and San Francisco will run the clock from here, and we should probably end it on this possession. We'll invite the coaches in. And just going to run a line back here, Trey Lance. At this point, I would guess that Philadelphia will probably let it run. Second and 9. Linebuck Lance again. Going to get 6 here. Kaiser White out for the game for Philly. We'll have all offseason to rest. I don't think he made it back to the Eagles last year in 23. Not sure, though. We hit 2:06 left now on this 3rd and 3. Trey Lance going to lose a yard. And we'll see what San Fran decides to do. They'll punt it away. Coffin cornering. And it's nicely done to the 11-yard line. 1:52 left. Philadelphia gets as far as the in real life team did. Next year, we'll have a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde team. Short pass, A.J. Brown. He's flushed. Gets 16. That's the clock run to 122. Philadelphia came in averaging 20.4 against on defense, which was good for third in the league. San Francisco came in at 15.8, which was number 1 in the league. 284 yards against on defense is the number 1 mark in the USFFL, and that belongs to San Francisco. Offense was down at 15th, but the overall margin, plus 78, third in the league. 52 seconds left. Sanders remains in. They're going to run it to him. And it's a neutral zone infraction. Gets us down to 52 seconds. Clock stops there. Back to Sanders. Gets 5. Not looking to get out of bounds. But it's going to go to a hurry up here, it looks like. 22 seconds. Short pass, A.J. Brown. Must run, another penalty, holding against Philadelphia. First and 12. Too tight. Refs are holding us back from getting to the finish line here. Back to Brown, gets 13. Will that be it, or will we play on from midfield? We will end it there. San Francisco 49ers win 28-7. Congratulations to Coach Rich, getting back to the Super Bowl, not an easy feat. He'll face the winner of tomorrow night's game between the Chiefs and the Bills. Take over the box score. Oh, there's ball position. Excuse me. So put the box score up. Just 2 of 13 on third down for Philly. 10 of 17 for San Fran. 5.2 yards per play for San Fran versus Philly's 4.4. We had no turnovers in the game, so clean from that perspective. And Bruce commenting on the long pass zero man. Yeah, that was the key. I would agree. Kind of playing toe-to-toe, and those were the plays that sort of created the separation. And, of course, there's many other things in there, fourth down stops, et cetera, but that felt like the number 1 priority item for the Niners. Niners come out unscathed in terms of injuries that would go into next week. He came in with one that's going to carry over. And it is Armstead. And we have a joiner. Congratulations, Rich.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Thank you.
Dang. So back to the Super Bowl again. How does that feel?
Well, it feels a little better. I don't have to play your miserable ass.
And you kept both healthy. I mean, that helps.
Yeah, I still have some thoughts about last year. The two things I think of is Bosa and Jimmy G's fourth quarter prowess.
Yes, 2 through 5 flat pass INT. Guessed right. That was the ticket.
Dude, that was on a dump off, I think, wasn't it?
Let's see. At least one of them were. Yeah, at least one of them. Yep.
Yeah.
At least.
But I mean, you did a hell of a job with that defense to get that far. This team. I mean, this. I don't want to sound like an ass, but this team can play itself. I mean, this is a strong team. I mean, last year it's almost like the pressure's on me this year because you got to win with a team like this. Last year was different because I think I went through Green Bay and then Seattle, and they were both like 14-3 or 15-2. Or, I mean, last year was just much more of an accomplishment than doing it with this team. I mean, this team is just stacked. I mean, run defense, pass interceptions. I mean, you got yak guys, McCaffrey. It's a very good team. It is.
I mean, this
and
year
I've been healthy most of the year too. So
Yes, and you have depth too in case you did hit some injuries. There's some good depth there, and last year Green Bay was the number 1 seed. You knocked them off, and they were the favorite from a card perspective. And this year, nobody could knock you off in the NFC. You came in clearly as the number 1 this time around, and you held serve. So that's not easy to do. I mean, you knocked off Green Bay last year. It can happen. In Philadelphia, could have been, but needed help on the cards. But
I was thinking about that as we started off going toe for toe with Bruce there. I'm like, this can be troublesome. Came down, missed it on 4th down. I got a little lucky. He was gambling with the free safety, so I said, I think I'm gonna have to try to give that a shot. And I think first time it missed, the next 2 times it hit, and I think that was the difference. I think I mean it changed his play calling, and but he's got a pretty strong team over there as well. Good receivers, good offense. I think his touchdown leader for the year was out. That probably hurt him, but he played well. Bruce, good job. But
Bruce, do you agree the long passes were the difference?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've been doing that all year, but usually, like I said, and Rich in the chat, oftentimes I come up with a sack. So I leave that zone empty a lot and safety blitz, but more often than not, I'll get a sack. Neither one of those, I don't even know if I think I sacked him 1 time all game. Okay.
Brandon Graham,
and the key to this team is, gamble and sack, and it didn't happen. But he beat me cleanly on those for 2 big gains, and that was really the difference because you're right, gave him the big lead, and that changes the outlook for coaching. So, but I love the way you play. Very, very smart playing the 3-4 defense with that supreme run defense. That is really smart. So yeah, good job doing that.
Yeah, I did that most of the year, and you get that box symbol, but you get the box symbol on like a -1 or something. Came up.
I know.
It's only 9 yards. I'm like, all right, I can live with that.
Yeah.
So
that's very good.
And Bruce, did you think of going more 4-2-5, or you just could not leave that looking open to get Hargrave's matchups better? Because the pass rush matchups were challenging in the 3-3-5.
Yeah, I didn't even get that many pass rushes though, as many as I was hoping I would get. Like even the matchups, I tried to put I put Sweat at left linebacker because I had no Reddick, and he didn't come into play at all. So I blitzed him a few times, but it just never came up. So I rarely play the 4-2 because TJ's my strong 5 at linebacker, and I hate to pull him out of the game. So that's my thinking anyway.
That's a tough thing with strategy. If you think about it, right? I don't do that either because then I'm taking Warner off the field, right? You can't take one of your best defensive players off the field. And in real life, he would be on the field. I mean, they wouldn't have taken him off. So that's one of the downfalls of that. That formation is very seldom used when you got a strong middle linebacker. I agree with you.
Right on. And you're facing one of the tougher carded teams in the league. What was your what was your strategy coming in, Bruce? Were you thinking, oh, I got to pass my way, pass to set up the run, or just pass the whole way, not even thinking about setting up the run? What was your thought?
I was thinking of passing most of the way. That's why I started guarded at fullback a few times. Just gave up the run and tried to pass. But then early on, I hit a long run with Sanders, and I thought, oh, wait a minute, are things going to go pretty good here? And then drove down and then missed the field goal. And I thought, ah, shit. Sometimes you kind of get a vision of how the day's going to go when you miss a field goal early like that. Even though he had the trouble, I stopped him inside the 5. That was crazy. What'd you have, like 7 plays or something inside the 5-yard line between penalties and stops? And yeah, that's just crazy. But
before
that was my thought.
You guys go. Yeah, before I let you go, unless you had a thought there, Rich. Dennis and I had the conversation in the game that perhaps the San Francisco team is the best carded team over maybe the last 2-4 years, somewhere in that range. It's not because it's the best cards ever, Rich. I think you realize that. I mean, there's flaws on your team, but you can't really, when you challenge yourself to think about it, it's hard to come up with a team that it's actually as good. It's almost like these teams in the recent generation just haven't been carded as well, and San Francisco almost takes that spot by default as the best team we've seen in a number of years.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I haven't really thought about that. And as soon as you get the new season out, I totally forget about I'm not a retro guy or anything. I couldn't tell you, what it was. But I do remember, when you find outstanding teams like that, like Green Bay last year, they had a little bit of challenges on defense. But here you got such a strong defense that even an average offense could do quite well, and I think Jimmy G had a pretty good, he's playing non-Jimmy G like from his history, throwing these picks, but you got McCaffrey's got good guest, right, and you got A yak guys, B yak guys. I mean, without doing a full analysis, I'd have to say not another team really comes to mind. I don't think so.
I mean, you think about that Tampa team, Tampa, that was strong, but they couldn't run the ball. I mean, they didn't have a runner, there's always an answer. There's some sort of answer, maybe not the best answer. I mean, Jimmy G's short pass wrong column, Dennis pointed out, is phenomenal. I mean, that is a beautiful card. Short pass wrong. It's better than most of the best quarterbacks out there. It's better than Geno's card, guessed wrong, for example. And Geno was one of the top quarterbacks last year. So it's team seems to have an answer to every question that's posed to it. Maybe not a perfect answer, but an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm going to keep going here. I got to go to work on a night shift tonight. So I'm out here in Hawaii, so I got to get moving. Bruce, definitely good game. It started. It was a great first half. Let's put it that way, and then doubled up at halftime was kind of tough. But it that field goal. If I go down 3-0 there, then it's never really a 2 or full 3-score lead, and that was a tough role. I think played a pretty big role early. Probably unheralded, but it didn't go unnoticed by me. So.
No, you deserve to win. Great game, great playing, great calling, and good luck in the Super Bowl.
All right, thanks. At least Anthony's not on the other side, not dissing the other 2 coaches, but he was with all his data, you knew he had me lined up. So, and he waited for the fourth quarter to knock me out the back. All right, guys, I do got to run. Thanks.
All right, congrats, Rich.
Take care, Anthony. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it. All right, that wraps it up. Tomorrow night, we'll see you for the Kansas City Buffalo AFC Championship. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.